Several new developments in south suburban Dolton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
No reason for anyone from a township to go to a mayor's conference. A mayor's conference is a mayor's conference for mayors.
Have you heard the latest about Dolton's infamous super mayor, Tiffany Henyard? Word on the street is that she's been arrested and is currently being questioned by the feds. Yes, you heard that right. It seems that this controversial mayor, who once called herself the most powerful woman in the Southland of Chicago, is finally facing the music. But what's led to this dramatic turn of events? Let's dive into the juicy details that have everyone talking.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor...
It all started when Tiffany Henyard, who was elected as the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, back in 2021, began making headlines not for her leadership, but for her questionable decisions and extravagant lifestyle funded by taxpayer money. From the moment she took office, Henyard presented herself as a figure who was larger than life. She even branded herself as the super mayor and often used a golden microphone at public meetings, flaunting her self-proclaimed title. But behind this grandiose image, rumors of corruption and financial mismanagement started to swirl, and those whispers have now grown into a full-blown scandal.
Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
What's even more shocking is that some of Henyard's closest allies, who once stood by her side through thick and thin, are now turning their backs on her. It seems like the walls are closing in on Henyard, and her former friends are now singing like canaries to the feds. One by one, they're coming forward, eager to save their own skin and expose the alleged corruption that has plagued Dolton under Henyard's reign. Let's talk about Carmen Carlisle, for instance. She was once Henyard's assistant and a loyal supporter, but now, Carlisle has turned whistleblower, accusing Henyard of unethical and predatory behavior. According to Carlisle's, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position to increase her influence. And it doesn't stop there. Carlisle's claims that Henyard used township funds for lavish trips and unnecessary expenses, all while projecting a false image of success funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township and the village of Dolton. Carlisle isn't the only one breaking her silence. Other trustees are now stepping forward, two, each with their own tales of alleged corruption and misconduct.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there won't be anything, it'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
But let's not forget how Tiffany Henyard even got here. She started as a village trustee in Dolton back in 2013, winning over residents with her promises of transparency and change. By 2021, she had climbed the political ladder, becoming Dolton's first female mayor and the youngest to hold the office. But instead of bringing the change she promised, it seems Henyard turned into what some residents are now calling a dictator. Allegations of her misuse of power started early on. Rumors of her extravagant spending habits started making headlines, with reports of thousands of dollars spent on first-class flights, luxury hotels, first class. Henyard seemed to live a life of luxury, and for a while, she got away with it.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
There's the infamous trip to Las Vegas in 2023, where Henyard and her entourage reportedly splurged on high-end accommodations and personal services, billing the costs to the taxpayers. The kicker: Henyard allegedly used this trip to cover up an even more scandalous affair and alleged assault of a sensitive nature by one of her allies. And what did Henyard do when the victim came forward? Instead of supporting them, rumors say she tried to silence them, going so far as to fire the alleged victim from their job after they spoke out. These allegations alone would be enough to bring down any politician, but for Henyard, they're just the tip of the iceberg.
Fox 32 has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing thousands of dollars.
And then there's the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, which she claims helps cancer patients. A noble cause, right? Well, not quite. It turns out that thousands of taxpayer dollars were funneled into this foundation under questionable circumstances. Records reveal that the foundation's paperwork was conveniently filed the same day the township board approved the $10,000 donation. Talk about suspicious timing. Further investigations showed that taxpayer money was also used to fund a 10-day bike ride across the state, allegedly in support of a breast cancer bill that, wait for it, was never even filed. The optics on this are bad, and the financial implications, even worse.
One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
Henyard's spending wasn't limited to her foundation either. Reports surfaced of her racking up more than $67,000 in charges for trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City in just 5 months. And these weren't just any trips, these were luxury getaways. In Atlanta, for instance, the group stayed at the Four Seasons, with taxpayers footing a $9,300 bill. At a time when many Dolton residents were struggling, Henyard was living it up on their dime. No wonder her former allies are now pointing fingers.
I'm sure you guys had an awesome time. on the backs of taxpayers. But what do we gain from any of these trips? We gain nothing.
Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who has recently been hired as a special investigator to look into Henyard's alleged misdeeds, revealed some jaw-dropping findings. In her preliminary report, Lightfoot disclosed that Dolton's general fund had plummeted from a healthy $61 million in April 2022 to a staggering deficit of $65 million by May 2024. And guess what? Henyard was caught using the Village credit card for personal purchases at Amazon, Target, Walgreens, Wayfair, and other retailers. In one shocking instance, she reportedly dropped $33,000 in a single day on Amazon. It's no surprise that the FBI has taken an interest in this case, with federal subpoenas served as part of their investigation into these allegations of financial misconduct.
Who would make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is, what is it?
But Henyard's saga doesn't end there. As her administration faces mounting scrutiny, the accusations are piling up faster than ever. 6 people, including business owners, a former Village employee, and 1 or more public officials, have reportedly spoken to the FBI about Henyard's alleged misconduct. It seems like everyone is ready to spill the tea on Henyard, and the feds are more than happy to listen.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the People's Mayor and People's Supervisor.
So, what's next for the embattled mayor? If the rumors are true, Henyard could be facing a lot more than just a public relations nightmare. With so many former allies turning against her and the federal investigation heating up, it seems only a matter of time before we see some serious legal consequences. Henyard might have tried to use her position to project power and authority, but it looks like her house of cards is finally starting to crumble.
Terminate his employment. I don't believe that is legally correct. That's just not the way municipalities operate, right?
What's particularly intriguing about this whole situation is how quickly things have spiraled out of control for Henyard. One day, she's living large as Dolton's super mayor, and the next, she's facing a full-blown federal investigation. It's almost like a reality TV show, but unfortunately for Henyard, this is real life, and there are real consequences. Now, there's a rumor circulating that Henyard has actually been taken into custody. Could it be true? Could the once untouchable mayor be sitting in an interrogation room, answering questions about her alleged crimes? It certainly would make for a dramatic twist in her already controversial story. And if it is true, you have to wonder what kind of deal is she willing to cut to save herself? Is she ready to throw her closest allies under the bus? Or will she try to take everyone down with her?
What I think is interesting about this case, this story, is you can be highly legal and unethical at the same time.
Henyard has been trying to maintain her grip on power, even going so far as to order Dolton cops to continue following orders from her disgraced deputy police chief, Louis Lacey, who was recently indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges. Despite being placed on administrative leave, Lacey was reportedly still showing up for work, a move that only added fuel to the fire. Henyard's blatant disregard for protocol and apparent attempts to obstruct justice only further suggest that she's desperate but afraid to cling to whatever power she has left.
We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime. And instead, we have several officers that are riding around protecting the mayor.
As more details emerge, it becomes clearer that Henyard's actions have not only betrayed the trust of Dolton's residents, but have also potentially crossed numerous legal lines. For a town already facing financial hardship, Henyard's alleged misuse of funds has only deepened the divide between her administration and the people she swore to serve. And now, with the FBI involved, it's not just her political career on the line, it's her freedom. And let's not forget the public reaction. Residents of Dolton are fed up. They've been vocal about their disdain for Henyard's leadership or lack thereof, and many are now demanding her resignation. Some even want to see her in handcuffs, facing justice for what they perceive as her numerous crimes against the community. During a particularly heated town hall, residents could be heard shouting, "Lock her up," a clear sign that the people of Dolton have had enough.
But it saddens my heart that you are up here at this special meeting and not downstairs where we have big bingo.
So, what does this all mean for Tiffany Henyard? Well, the future doesn't look too bright for the self-proclaimed super mayor. With her reputation in tatters and her allies jumping ship, Henyard's days of ruling Dolton unchecked seem to be numbered. The community's patience is wearing thin, and the federal investigation isn't slowing down. If Henyard thought she could weather this storm, she might need to think again.
Mr. Lacey is absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to admit your guilt first.
At this point, it's anyone's guess what Henyard's next move will be. Will she step down and attempt to negotiate a deal, or will she dig in her heels and fight until the bitter end? One thing's for sure, Dolton's political scene is a hot mess right now, and it doesn't look like things are going to calm down anytime soon. So, what do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard finally facing the consequences of her actions, Or is there more to this story that we don't yet know? Could she still have a trick or two up her sleeve to escape the clutches of justice? Or is this the end of the road for Dolton's most controversial mayor? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on this unfolding drama. Until next time, stay tuned and stay curious.